So I told you about this gathering. We had a gathering that involved pizza. A bunch of folks that do shows on Station Head and Blast and Twitch and whatnot. It was nice. But as some of you know, I am on my unthick-necking journey. Unthick-necking, unbig-backing. And yeah, I can see it on Zoom. It's like, okay, the neck, when you notice a slight roll in the neck on the Zoom calls, I said, okay, we got to do something. The push to do something really was when I went to see my doctor a couple of weeks ago. Got on the scale, and the doctor said, oh, well, you can brush off about 4 pounds from what you have because you're fully clothed. Even brushing off 4 pounds, I was not happy with what I saw on the scale. So I told myself, you got to get back into gear. You got to lose a little bit here, a little bit there. Work it off. Don't eat as much crazy things. And quite frankly, I'm not that crazy of an eater. I'm not one to binge a lot of food. I don't snack throughout the day. I'm not that guy. And then, of course, when it comes to desserts and whatnot, like I'm not the one that's going to eat an entire pint of ice cream. I know, and this is no judgment, because I know people do this all the time. And it might tick some people off. But I will go through a pint of ice cream. It'll take me 3 days. Seriously. Like I will take the little top layer, and then I get the middle layer, and then I finish it off. So I don't go overboard, but I just haven't been working out like I want to. And then those calories count up, especially when you drink sodas. I became reintroduced to sodas again and had a lot of sodas and stuff. And sodas pack on those calories, the sugar and all that. So I say all that to say, started counting calories, doing some things, trying to be a little bit more physical, but not quite where I want to be just yet with the physical workouts. But the counting calories is where it really kicked in. And I am happy to report to you that in the 3.5 weeks where I was being a better eater, if you will, I took off 6 pounds. That's a good thing, right? I took off 6. I said, okay, if I continue on this particular path, if we, ramp up the physical activity, it could get better. I do have a goal to reach. So 6 pounds were gone after 3.5 weeks. And this is without really trying, except for just doing the nutrition thing. I hadn't really done a whole lot physically, but just mostly the nutrition thing, which was good. That was good until this weekend. Oh, I fell off the wagon bad. Now, I knew we were going to have pizza, so I said, okay, let me try to be as straightforward and good the week before as possible, because I could have gone into the restaurant and said, you know what? I'm going to be as good as I can be. I'm just going to have some protein. I'm going to have the meatballs with a little sauce, and that could be it. I said I could do that, but I said, no, I need to eat. I wanted to eat. I wanted to reward myself for being as good as I have been. So I said, let me have some pizza. So I ordered 2 pizzas, actually. I didn't eat both. So don't get it twisted. I didn't eat both pizzas. But I ordered 2 pizzas. I ordered one for the table, as it were, for Snarky Mac, Roland, and Mac Bro. And then I ordered one that I wanted, but everybody could share too. The pizza that I ordered was called the Pig. Oh. The Pig. Ooh. The Pig had like 4 or 5 different types of pork. It had prosciutto. It had bacon. It had sausage. It had ham. It was so good. The Pig. I had 3 slices of it. Now, it wasn't a gigantic pizza. And since it was that thin crust, it went like that. So I had 3 slices of pizza. All right. Then I had a ginger ale. Ooh, I didn't go over the edge with the soda. I had one ginger ale, and then I, chased it with some water. Good. I hadn't had breakfast on Saturday, so my calories weren't off kilter. So we leave the restaurant, hop in the car, driving around LA. We come back and I have Dave J on the mic in tow with me. Come back to our house, and then we took a Snarky Mac hood tour, which we'll talk about more a little bit later on in the show, but also more tonight on the Snarky Sessions. So we're driving Dave around, and we're asking Dave, like, is there anything you want to eat? Anything you want to do? Blah, 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 so on and so forth. And Dave was very, very kind and said, well, we can pick something up and I can treat y'all. I'm like, no, you don't have to treat us. We're happy that we're able to spend time with you. So Dave didn't want anything particularly to eat. So we just took him back to his hotel, which is another topic we'll get to tonight. We took Dave back to his hotel. And Snarky said, well, what do you want for dinner? I said, well, since we're eating, I said, how about enchiladas? Oh, I hadn't had chips and salsa and enchiladas in nearly a month. And that's a sin for a Southern California person. Chips and salsa is on the list like at least once a week. So we went to one of our little hole-in-the-wall places, El Tarasco, and I got chicken enchiladas. Snarky got cheese enchiladas and chips and salsa. It was so good. Rice and beans, too. That's where the carbs are, the rice and beans. So not only did I do the pizza on Saturday, I did the enchiladas for dinner. Now, mind you, I only had half the enchiladas because I think my body is regulating, saying, okay, don't put too much in, because if so, ooh. So I only ate half of the enchiladas, which I finished off last night. But here's where the big backing came to a full circle. Full circle on Saturday. Snarky had been mentioning that she wanted one thing last week, and she said, I can't get to it. Snarky said, hey, you want a shake? Like, don't tempt me with a good time. So yes, we stopped to get shakes. So add up those calories from one day. 3 slices of pizza, 1 soda, half of a chicken enchilada plate with rice and beans, and a shake. Once you add them all up, they might equal, I don't know, 1,500, 1,600. I may be naive in saying that. But consider I didn't have breakfast and I was roaming around all day. So I may have burned it all off, right? Maybe, crossing fingers. But it's the carbs, it's the fat, it's the cholesterol, it's all that. It wasn't good, clean calories, right? Wasn't that? To make it worse, yesterday morning, Snarky ran out of milk for her coffee. And instead of ordering the milk, I said, okay, let me just go to the store. I goes to the store to go shopping. In my mind, though, I'm thinking, am I going to be good today, or I'm going to start being good again on Monday? So I said to Snarky, I said, I can pick up breakfast. Oh, where you want to go? Oh, let's go to our local diner. Let's go to Pan's. All right. You could be healthy going to Pan's. You could have a decently protein-rich breakfast. You could do some egg whites, maybe a chicken sausage or whatever. That's fine. What do you want from Pan's? Okay, you got blah, 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 blah. You get that. Ooh, how about some pancakes? I said, yes, you are speaking my language. How about some pancakes? So I had the weirdest combination, but it turned out to be pretty good, though. We had, because it's a combo thing, I had salmon croquettes, which is interesting that you get to have a restaurant that does salmon croquettes. So that was healthy, right? Salmon croquettes, some hash browns, not healthy. Some grits, filling, but not healthy. and we split a stack of pancakes. I didn't eat all the pancakes. We split them. So this weekend, I fell off the wagon hard. I really did. It was pretty, that was me. I said, I want to eat. I want to reward myself for losing 6 pounds as I put 3 back on. James, Saturday sounds like it was cheat month. It was good. Saturday and Sunday.